Have you ever wanted to play a third-person shooter that has a single-player campaign? Multiplayer modes is on the Nintendo Switch, is a second installment of a Nintendo-based franchise, and is based on aquatic wildlife with human characteristics?
No.
Well, here's a reminder, Splatoon 2 exists! After the original game's splash introduction back in 2015 on the Wii U, this body fluid shooting kids game is back on the Switch. Select and personalize gear and weapons, explore single-player modes, and stare at your waifus for hours. Compete in multiplayer games to improve your rank. So let's just dive into this 4-year-old game and see what you could be doing instead of going to school or work. First is the single-player campaign, which is almost exactly the same as the original games. But Callie has been brainwashed this time and you need to save her. Explore and beat 32 stages across 5 maps, unlocking new weapons and upgrading your gear until you're wielding a gun that is so powerful you are able to eviscerate anything in a blink of an eye. Except Marie's umbrella, that thing's indestructible. And you can never sneak up behind her because she can predict your movements or something. Almost like she has like a sixth sense or something. Is Marie Spider-Man? Once you save Callie, you can try to beat every single stage with every single weapon, which allows you to do the closest thing we have to weapon skins. But that would take a stupid amount of time, so why would you do it? You can also find all the collectibles in a single player mode, but that also takes a stupid amount of time, so why would you do that? If you finish upgrading all your weapons and gear, there's an option to reset everything and repeat the whole upgrading process again. But why would you do that? That's so stupid, what the fuck? In the end, the campaign is pretty fun, and I'd give it 6 waffles out of 10 giant zapfish. But if you think that the campaign is the only way to feel sad and lonely, there's also the paid $20 DLC that's actually pretty worth it. So now you can be mad and lonely. The Octo expansion came out 3 years ago, but you don't care about that because it's 2021. Explore and play 81 different, but actually pretty similar, rage-inducing levels. You can even unlock the ultimate boss fight against the Hacking Agent 3, but only after you've beaten the first 80 levels. Become infuriated as you fight against a bazillion snipers. Try not to touch the opponent's body fluid and guide a giant 8-ball into a trash can. A goal. But don't screw up now, or else the most adorable looking blob thing will freaking kill you without hesitation or remorse. The sound of death still echoes in my sleep at night. Collect the 4 things in order to escape the promised Neverland, with the help of a sentient, slang-spittin' Western electric crank telephone, who is definitely not evil, of course. You'll also meet many new creatures that have no information surrounding them whatsoever. How on earth did that guy get that shirt on? Who knows? There's also a lot of cool lore and fan service in the game, including Pearl and Marina getting shipped together. What? Marina, you were supposed to be mine! All in all, the Octo expansion is worth the $20. The levels are fun and challenging, there's so much new lore to the game. Oh, and also the playable Octoling and certain pieces of gear are locked behind those $20. Nintendo, you piece of shit. In the end, I'd give the Octo expansion 8 balls out of 10 bombs. But wait, there's more! There's also the multiplayer aspect of the game. There are 5 online multiplayer modes: Turf War, Ranked, League, Private Battles, and Salmon Run. You need friends in order to play League and Private Battles, so don't worry about those. When you start the game, Turf War is the first and only mode you can play until you reach level 4 for Salmon Run, and then level 10 for Ranked modes. In Turf War, you have 3 minutes in order to cover the map with as much of your body fluid as possible. You can try to win 50 games in a row to reach Gold Super Fresh status, but your teammates will often consist of like 2 chargers and a roller, and like, I don't know, a GooTuber, while the other team is like full of perfect gear hardcore veterans who have over 1,000 hours on the game. So why even try? Once you reach level 4, you can now participate in child labor and work for this talking bear statue. He sends you off to a faraway place that is surrounded by the very liquid that kills you, and is infested with giant fish creatures that want to beat you to death with a frying pan. He instructs you to gather these things called golden eggs for seemingly no reason, and will just deduct an absurd amount of your pay if you do not meet all of his specific requirements. Woohoo. In order to get these golden eggs, you will have to beat up these boss fish. Sometimes they're tall, sometimes they're long, but they are all equally annoying. Keep winning games to improve your status and pay grade. Maybe even try to get professional 999, the highest status and pay, or get a round of hazard level max, the highest difficulty of salmon run. But when they say more difficult, they mean they're just going to spawn more and more fish at the most inconvenient times and in the most hard-to-reach places, until your entire team gets overwhelmed and demolished because there is so much happening. And this is probably still my favorite mode in the game. Haha. Oh yeah, rating. Sure, I'll give it 7 power eggs out of 10 bear statues or whatever. Finally, there's Ranked, the mode most people play and is also the reason why most people quit. You'll start at C- in all 4 ranks and work your way up to X rank. In the lower ranks, you'll be surrounded by either people like you who are brand new and still bad at the game, people who have been playing for a long time but are still bad at the game, or Smurfs, who are people who probably play this game professionally and are just starting a new account to get a cake watching you suffer. And once you get to the higher ranks, if you even make it there, your teammates will still be equally as bad. But there are a lot of weapons you can play and have fun with. But if you want to win, there are only like 10 to 20 weapons you can play because this game gets no more updates and the meta was figured out like a year and a half ago. And this game is just filled with pain and suffering. As you can see, Splatoon 2 is still a great game with lots to do and explore. So what are you waiting for? Head over to the eShop right now to pick up the game for $60. Jesus Christ, what? $60? Really? Like for a 4-year-old game that has a sequel coming out in like less than a year? Pick up the game for $60 plus the Octo expansion and Nintendo Online. Oh wow, $100? That really for a 4? Okay. Pick up the full Splatoon 2 experience for only $100 plus tax today.